name is Michael Bihar, and I'll be directing you through the group I19's user interface assignment for Uni SA. Our task for this semester was to build a user interface for a 3D printer that could be applied in any store basically, and we ended up deciding to build a 3D printer interface for a shoe store. So customers can come in, buy new shoes by scanning an old pair, selecting one from a catalogue, and yeah, basically paying for it in the end. I'll go through and firstly demonstrate what our user interface is and how it works and all the features of it, and then I'll go through and discuss how the phases we completed were done. To begin, we originally have a start screen which welcomes the user to the printer. You can simply select the OK button and it comes up with a choice of 3 sections. These are print item, scan item and staff access. For the usual user, staff access is obviously limited to only staff. So we'll go through the print phase first of all. We just simply click the big print button and we have a choice. We can either browse the model from the internal library or we can load a model from an external hard drive. If we select the browse model, it comes up with a small library of shoes that you can choose from. This is only just a demonstration of what potentially could be put in. After all, we can add items, as you'll see a bit further in this video, through the USB or Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, but this is what it is. I'll select a pair of shoes, we'll say F1 for the moment. You get given the choice whether you want a quick print or custom print. We'll originally go through and we'll say that we want a quick printer. It allows you to insert your bank card. When you insert it, you can go, it registers what your payment is that you're owing, and then you can choose savings or credit. If you click savings for argument's sakes, you type in your PIN password, so we'll say it's that, and it will go through and say you've got the wrong password because it's inputted incorrectly. If you input the correct thing, it will obviously allow you to go through and it will accept payment. If we go back to the main menu and go through the exact same thing again, we can choose the custom print. This allows you to choose the certain colours of shoes that you may want and the size you may want. It goes obviously up and down. You can select anything you want and you can click print. Once you've come through, you insert your bank card again, you can choose your thing, you can insert a password and hit OK, and it will allow you to go through. If we go back to the main menu, we can select scan an item. Now if you go to scan an item this time, we can go through and scan from a library or copy an item. If we want to add a new item to the library, it says that it's been scanned, so we'll just say we'll add it to the library. It says it's been added, and it directs us back to the main page. If we decide to choose to go start scan and copy an item, we can choose the same way again. Once we've scanned it, we can copy it, and we can either quick print it, as you saw before, or we can custom print it. I'll just follow through the demonstration of what you can do. Once again, this time I'll try another password, which says it's being printed. If we go back to the main page, we can click on the final button, the staff access. It allows you to enter the password. The password for it is password. You select OK, and you can choose to do a printer head maintenance. You can choose to do shoe material. It will display what material is left in the system, and it will also display the series of colours that are left. Now if we go through and we discuss the phases were conducted by all group members. Some parts of it were obviously more complex than others, but we all worked as a team to get through it. Originally, we sat down, had a meeting and decided that we would work and choose a shoe store. The first phase was to go through and collect as much data as we possibly could. We sat down, had brainstorming sessions, and yeah, basically just nutted out what we think the system should be. The next part was to create a series of stories that we could go by, so scenarios and all that, and basically we'd go through and have an individual scenario, and all those scenarios would relate to a key point. We then had to basically come up with a generic set of what a scenario would be, which is basically the printer needs to print, scan, and people need to pay for their items. That moved on into going into more depth, some concrete scenarios, which went more in depth and looked more at the user and the specific details of the exact thing that they're doing, which then allowed us to continue working on. We did some use cases that we thought would be relevant, drew a use case diagram. Then we went through in phase 4 and started implementing little bits of our ideas by simply starting a little bit of coding, and then we went through and drew up some screens and thought this, seems like a pretty good idea. There were some changes in the final thing, and that was mainly because certain things like simulating an error was quite difficult to do, obviously without a real printer connected to this. Yeah, that's basically how it is. We've gone through, we've worked well as a team, and this is the printer that we've got. I hope you enjoy.